Okay, so Manu's got moisturizer on as always and sunscreen, so her face is ready to go. Starting off with a primer. Like I always say, a primer is not an option, it's a necessity, okay? So today I'm using the Zao Makeup Sublim Soft Primer, which is a mattifying primer. And I love this primer particularly because it's the mattest primer you can find. So it's excellent for oily skin, excellent for humidity, excellent for warm weather and those who generally tend to sweat a lot. So I'm applying that on the lids. And again we apply the primer underneath the eyes as well, okay? Now make sure you apply primer in the inner corners of the eyes as well. Hi everyone. The inner corners of the eyes tend to get dark as well because there's a lot of things creating shadows around it. Then I'm going to apply the foundation on the eyelids as always. This is another one of my favorite vegan products, by the way. If you are into vegan, and I do get a lot of requests for vegan makeup, Zao Makeup is completely vegan and organic and cruelty free, of course. So this is their compact foundation. It looks really thick, but when you apply it, it feels like you're not wearing anything. It doesn't feel heavy at all on the skin, and it's almost like you can feel the skin breathe through the foundation. Now I'm going to set everything in with a powder, and today I'm going to use a pressed powder. Applying that all over the eyelid, underneath the eyes as well. So I'm going in with a neutral shade. Right, close your eyes. So I'm applying that all over the eyelids. As you guys know, as I always say, after you've applied the foundation and the pressed powder, it's always a great idea to go in with a neutral shade. To apply all over the eyelid, and again that makes the makeup last longer. So these are all eyeshadows by Zao, Manu was asking. Okay, so then I used, for transition, I used this beautiful shade here. And I'm applying that in the eye socket. For the transition, you don't always have to go with brown or beige, okay? So you can go with different colors as well. I would probably steer away from, you know, really bright colors unless that's a look that you're going for. But yeah, any soft color is really nice. As long as it creates some shadow and some depth, that's all you want really. That's the whole purpose of using the transition shadow. And for the nice shimmer, I use this champagne color here. And I'm applying that by dabbing it and pressing it gently on the mobile eyelid. And the same shimmery color I'm applying just underneath the eyebrows there. And in the inner corners of the eye. So next I'm creating the halo, I think it's called, effect. So for that I'm using this shade here, which is actually an eyebrow powder, but it works beautifully for eyeshadows as well. You guys know me, I always try and be very efficient with the makeup. And I like to work them hard, so I make sure that they multitask. So I'm applying that on the outer corner and the inner corner there as well. Not too close, so I'm staying away from the inner corners right there, which is connected to the nose, okay? So just literally the beginning of the eyelid and the outer corner of the eyelid, that's where I'm applying it. The same shade I'm applying just on the top right there, okay? Without extending it outwards. Use the cake liner from Zao Cosmetics, which is also a black eyeshadow. So close your eyes for me please, and I'm using that as an eyeliner, okay? So with a thin brush, I'm just drawing out the line. The cake liner can be used as an eyeshadow, as I said, but if you want it more intense and if you want it to look more like an eyeliner, then you can actually wet the tip of the makeup brush with water or with a mixing agent, and then you get it as it becomes liquid, like a gel liner or a liquid eyeliner, okay? Actually this product, because it's a powder, it's a lot more forgiving, so if you make a mistake it's easily rectified. So now I'm going to do underneath the eyes, so if you can look up for me please. And underneath I'm going with the shade that I used for the transition, which is this shade here. And just on the outside, I'm going in with that darker shade, using the same brush. And look up for me, please. The darker shade I'm just going to apply on the outside. Now I'm going in to put a kohl pencil in the waterline for money. Okay, so this is also by Zhao. Eye pencil, look up for me, please. And look how beautifully that applies, seriously. It's as good as a gel liner. And now I'm going in with mascara. Okay, so now I'm going to clean up underneath the eyes, and then using the same primer, which is a Sublim Soft by Zhao Makeup. And I'm applying that all over the face. I'm just going to cover a little bit of blemishes, and then because she doesn't like heavy makeup, I'm going to apply a pressed powder, which is a pigmented powder, instead of the creamy foundation on, okay? So I'm practically doing a concealing job. I'm just using a concealer for Manu today, because rather than using a foundation which is cream-based, wax-based, or water-based, I'm just going to use a pressed pigmented foundation powder, because I have been talking about how brilliant they can be if they're the right quality lately, if you've been following me, and I really want to showcase how good they can be. So if you're not into a completely full coverage foundation, if you don't want that really heavy cakey makeup, you just want some subtle color in your face which evens out the skin tone, then I think that is the perfect solution, and that definitely has been my go-to product lately. The other reason why I prefer pressed pigmented powders these days is they do tend to go into the any pores that you have that foundation doesn't want to sit on, or any uneven skin that you have. The powder, the pressed pigmented powders, tend to actually cover up every single part. So lately I've completely skipped the process of wearing a foundation, a creamy foundation that is, and just stuck to pressed powders. So what I'm currently using at the moment is I'm using the same foundation that I applied on Manu's eyelids and underneath the eyes. The reason why I'm using this one is because, like I said, it's a compact foundation. It's really thick, and it works perfectly as a concealer as well. And that's why I'm also warming it up on the back of my hand, yeah, because it needs to have that warmth, as with any wax-based products. Okay, so now I'm going with the pressed powder. I'm using the Zhao Makeup, and I'm really a big fan of them because, like I said, they do give longevity and also a beautiful coverage. I'm applying that with a wedge. Now have a look at this coverage.
Feels light.
It feels light, yeah. If you want a lighter coverage even than that, just use a powder brush, okay? Now for underneath the eyes, where I did apply that concealer compact foundation, I'm going in with a lighter shade, and I'm using the other edge of the wedge. And really gently pressing it in, okay? You don't want too much powder underneath the eyes. And then dust it all off. So then I'm going to apply the illuminator. This is called Shine Up Powder. Okay, so the Shine Up Powder, I'm going to apply, if you can turn this way please, thank you, on the top of the cheekbones, just there, and then over the eyebrows and on the cupid's bone. Once you purchase a product from them, it comes in its original packaging, which is made of bamboo, and then when you want to refill it, you don't have to keep buying the bamboo all over again. So there's no plastic used whatsoever. You simply buy the refill and you pop it into the container that you bought the first time. So that's really, really great to know. This is the bronzer that I'm applying on, using it as a contour right now. With the blusher, I'm going to use a mixture of this and this, okay? So these are eyeshadows, but they were perfectly fine as blushers as well. The eyebrows, again, I'm using the eyebrow powder that I've used on the eyelids. I'm using the powder puff for support, and then drawing a line and then filling upwards. And then finally we're going in with lipstick. Okay, so applying the lipstick with a disposable applicator, of course. Thank you so much, Mandy, for joining me.
You're welcome, thank you.
I hope you like it.
I do.
Okay, okay then. See you guys.